Hi, friends. Welcome to Coffee Break with Dr. Michele Alignay. It's another afternoon of discussion, of conversations, realizations, and we hope that you'll have your actions to be able to help us in our family life, relationships, and well-being. So join me. I'm Dr. Michele Alignay for another discussion on family stress and coping. This is something very relevant for us. This week we are celebrating Mental Health Week on Mental Health Day is on October 10, and I believe one of the earmarks, one of the key areas that we're supposed to be taking care of in order for us to have healthier family life and healthier mental health is really our way we deal with stress, especially in the family. At alam ko marami sa atin kasama ng pamilya natin ngayon na kanya-kanyang pinagdadaanan when it comes to stress. Tama ba? So alam ko, kanya-kanya tayo ng pinagdadaanan. Iba-iba ang ating konteksto. Let me use that word, friends. Konteksto, context, how we are in our family, how we are in our relationships, how we are in our family life that will help us to navigate the stressors that comes our way, because it's not about the stressors, it's about how we cope with it. Ulitin ko, friends, how are you? Are you with me? It's not about the stressor that comes in our family life, but it's about how we cope with it. So I am just fixing something in my app, but I would like to ask you, what are the common stress? Friends, marami na tayo ngayong hapon dito. What are the common stress that you've experienced in your family life? Sabihin na natin kahit the past 3 months. 3 months lang. Can you please put that in the comment section? Can you tell me, if you will be honest and open, what are the common stressors that you are experiencing in your family life the past 3 months? In sa Pinas, we're still in quarantine, pero alam ko yung mga kaibigan ko sa abroad, medyo normal na yung buhay nila, but to a point that what do you call this? I cannot to the point that their lives are more normal. Actually, they're more normal now. So friends, do join me, in telling me and tell me ano yung mga pinagdadaanan nyo, ano yung mga common problems, mga common stressors. Sabihin natin kahit hindi problema, kasi minsan naman hindi naman problema yan eh. It's just a probable stressors. So let's reflect about it. Tell me about, what have you been up to? What have you been encountering? What are the stressors that has been happening to you the past 3 months? Sa buhay, pamilya in particular. Are you with me, friends? Are you with me? Hi, Yang. Hi to friends in California, si Rose, and in Canada, si Kathy. Ayan, I think maraming mga parents ang pinagdadaanan online learning of the kids and work from home. Tama yan. Yeah, tell me about it. I've been doing a lot of webinars for parents in order to help them in that aspect. Kasi alam natin na hindi naman talaga madali hindi naman talaga madali yung pinagdadaan ng maraming mga magulang, lalong-lalo na ngayon. So ano pa, aside from that, ano pa po yung mga pinagdadaanan natin this, in this aspect, ano pa yung pinagdaanan natin ng mga stressors lang. Stress at work at the same time. Yeah, I think it's the same, right? Meron pa ba? Meron pa ba tayong mga stressors na nararamdaman? What about sa sarili? Wala ba tayong stressor? What about, let me just course you through the reflections, the reflection points that we can do. Isn't it that it's also stressful to deal with your family members, whether you'll say it or not? It's really, yan, thank you myself for saying it, a sibling rivalry, and you're very open to share it. Because minsan, dahil sa normal na nangyayari sa atin, hindi na natin ina-acknowledge that it has becoming a stress for us. Finances, yan, totoo yan mga kaibigan. Another one, J, is they don't understand how my work flows, being work from home and handling online training, asking me help in using technology. Yes, naniniwala ako dyan. So, kanya-kanya tayo. But stress at work. But may kasamang hu-hu-hu. Yeah, we want to cry. We want to cry with our work. Ako, today, I'm starting to wear my academician hat, meaning my I teach in the college and I teach in the graduate school. So this week I have to prepare all of my course outline, all the online learning platforms that I'll be using for them. So let's look into stress. Normal ba na may stress? Friends, do you think that stress is normal? With everything that's happening, is stress normal? Ayan, natawa ko dito sa comment na 'to. Anong stress? Anong uulamin? Totoo 'yan kasi minsan 'yan napakasimple. Yan na yung nasa-stress tayo. Pero totoo, yung bang it adds to us stress sa pagiging all-in-one woman, nanay, wife, anak, businesswoman. Yes, but you see, friends, I was asking you, is stress normal? It's very normal. Pag wala na ang stress sa buhay natin, alam niyo ba, baka posibleng we're dead meat already. So you have to you have to realize that stress is actually a part of our lives. Stress is a part of our lives. And it's not about the stress, it's about how we deal with it. And in the family, stress is really normal. When we define stress, stress means pressure, daily pressure that we encounter. And in the family life, marami sa atin work from home setup. Naniniwala ako at naobserbahan ko yung mga bagay na hindi natin na-realize at hindi natin na-encounter before, na-encounter natin. Tama po ba mga kaibigan? So here, there are different kinds of stress. And all this pressure, many times, stars can okay, there are three levels of stress. So, ang unang level ng stress na tatandaan mo, it's the physiological. The mind-body connection. I believe in the past episodes of Coffee Break, I've discussed that. Physiological stress is that how our body respond to stress. So, yung iba, tumataas yung blood sugar, tumataas yung tumataas din yung BP o kaya naman naglo-low blood. So, whatever. But those, yung iba naman nagkaka-insomnia, yung iba naman nagkaka-backache like me, and then meron din nagkaka-tummy ache because all this are actually our body are absorbing the varied kinds of stress. So, if our body is not okay, meaning hindi tayo maganda kumain, hindi tayo maayos matulog, hindi natin inalagaan ang katawan natin, yan yung una mag-a-absorb ng stress. The second level of stress that is that since our body is reacting, it's the psychological stress. So physiology, that is the body. Our body is the one absorbing it, even if our minds are not yet acknowledging that it's a stressful situation. It is likely that our bodies are absorbing the stress already. And if we don't know how to deal with it, then sometimes it becomes the cause of our sickness. And another one is the psychological stress. Psychological stress, as from the word itself, it's really we are appraising, we are looking into, we are trying to understand the stress that's happening. So ito sa utak at sa emosyon, psycho-emotional. So here, resulting in an emotional reaction. Parang so dito na ipapasok na, oh my God, this situation, it's really fearful, it's really hindi ko maintindihan. So the more that we become anxious. So that insight in the head that hindi natin maintindihan, and then we become anxious, we become fearful, we become afraid. So yun yung epekto. So that's the psychological stress. Others naman, we become overthinkers. So yun yung nangyayari kasi pinipilit natin intindihan ng isang bagay pero we cannot fully grasp it. Are you still with me, friends? So the third level, it's that the social or the relational stress. So, pag yung physiology, yung katawan natin, na-absorb na yung stress, and our psychology, our mind, and our emotions react to it, sometimes if we don't know how to handle it, it affects the relationship around us. It affects the people around us. It affects have been dealing with it. So it affects actually how we react to our parents, how we react to our siblings, how we react to our kids, and even how we react to our husband. Kaya hindi ba po, pag tayo ay stressed, who can relate here, friends? When we are stressed, you have to check, how am I being a loving person? How am I reacting? How am I nourishing myself in relation to the people around me? So, si Ma'am Joy, you're always summarizing, and I really appreciate that. Physiological, psychological, and social or relational. And then, if you look at it, there's also the environmental stress, and then our COVID situation right now, that's environmental stress. So may mga bagay na hindi natin kontrolado. So friends, punta tayo, ano doon yung kontrolado natin? So kung levels of stress tatlo, dagdag mo pa yung pang-apat, which is environmental or cultural or political stress. Lahat ng nasa labas natin. Which among these are controllable? We cannot control the stress, but the level of stress that we put in ourselves, isn't it that that's what we are in control of? Tama ba? Naiintindihan niyo yung sinabi ko? Hindi natin kontrolado yung nangyayari sa labas. Pero among this and how we deal with things, alin dyan yung kaya nating ma-manage? Alin dyan yung controllable natin? Can you make a guess? Can you try to reflect also? Right here, right now, what are you in control of? Anybody? Do I hear anyone? Alin dyan ang kontrolado natin, mga kaibigan, in terms of stress. So, whether you like it or not, the stress is not controllable, but how we deal with it internally meaning also how we deal with it in our physiology, how we deal with it psychologically, and how we deal socially or in relationally, we can manage that. So let's try to reflect also. And that stress in the family, ah, tama yan ka. Bago ko tama to. Lizelle. Hi, Lizelle. My thoughts and my ways of coping are controllable. That's controllable. Kat, sabi mo, actually lahat naman, everything is a choice. Totoo yan, friends. Today, my Bible reflection. Let me proceed. You know the story of Martha and Mary. The Martha and Mary, my favorite women in the Bible, aside from Mother Mary. Martha and Mary, yung isa, Mary sat down at the foot of Jesus. And Martha, my favorite Martha, she spins around, do everything. And I think she was so stressed, like many of us. But you know what? The secret here is that we made a choice. We made a choice kung ano yung trabaho natin. Kahit sabihin mo walang choice, may choice pa rin yan. Meron tayong choice kung ano yung dapat natin gawin. May choice tayo na to be happy. May choice tayo na kahit na I will serve, kahit na I will not be able to listen. Even if nobody will help me, I will help myself. And that is a choice. Kaya yun yung stress. Where are you here? Are you making the choice to manage your stress? Or are you making a choice to fret over your stress? You cannot really do away without stress, but it is the way we cope that will make a difference. Can you say that with me? The way we cope with stress will make the difference. Can you say that with me, friends? Can you put that in the comment section? The way we cope with stress would make the difference. I love that. Parang ngayon, choice ko na mag-shutdown ng laptop. Tama yan. Minsan, I work that way. I have so many things to do, but then my choice, I will work without gadget. So, ngayon, after this, isa-shutdown ko na yung laptop ko para makapagtrabaho na ako ng maayos. So, another thing that I would like you to read, parang dati naka-notebook ako, ngayon I have to write it down in paper. So, now, what would like you to realize is that the way we cope with it makes a difference. Thank you for saying that, friends. The way we cope with stress would make the difference. So, as I said, stress is physiological, psychological, social, and of course, environmental. Pero stress, tandaan natin, look at the ABCs of stress. Yung A, you have to be aware of the stress. Maging aware tayo na nakakabigat ba 'to? Hindi naman lahat ng bagay dapat ma-stress tayo kasi naman yung iba normal lang, 'di ba? May mga tao na lahat pinapatulan pero we have to be aware, is this really something that is supposed to be fret about? It is worth looking into. It is worth stressing over. So that's awareness. The second one, beliefs. This COVID pandemic actually can be stressful, but some people look at it as a very difficult crisis, and some people look at it as a blessing, as an opportunity, as a reset. So that is depending on how we believe about things, how we perceive things. So our beliefs is very critical in how we deal with things, okay? So the first one, how do we look at stress in the family? The first is we need to be aware. Second, we need to check our beliefs. Tingin ko ba dyan stress? Relevant ba sa akin yan? So the third one, context. Ito napakahalaga. Kasi minsan hindi ba kayo nagtataka, bakit sa ibang pamilya, pareho kayo ng sitwasyon, pareho kayong, for example, may financial difficulty. Pero may ibang pamilya, carry lang sa, I have to use that word, carry lang sa kanila, okay lang sa kanila. Pero meron naman ibang pamilya, bigat na bigat sila. Because we also need to look into yung konteksto. Yung konteksto, halimbawa, a rule would be set in the family or the outside, your office would set the rule na you're supposed to be working from home, we're supposed to be productive. These are the set parameters for you to be able to reach your quota, your targets, or ito yung KRA nyo. But if you would look at it, some would be able to produce. For example, before, you are an achiever at work. You deliver everything well. But then, you are in the office. Because you are a different person maybe in the office because you can focus more rather than now that you are in the family, you are at home and you have a different context. Some people can work from home very well and some people it's a challenge for them. Why? Because of the context. Yung konteksto, iba-iba yung setup sa bahay, may manok, may aso, may truck, may kung ano-anong ingay, may mga bata, lahat na. Yung iba naman, ay ang saya para siyang naka-studio. Parang wow, ang perfect naman ang perfect na ba ng sitwasyon mo. So you have to check that. You have to check always the context. You know, as a teacher, as a counselor, I always need to remind myself, check the context of the student. Some students, of course, there are some of them who makes an excuse. But some, they're able to produce kasi iba-iba yung konteksto. So minsan, kahit na the rules are set, but the context can be very different. We need to check that. And then D, some people have different direction. Another area of stress. Other people, what's the direction ng stress? Yung ibang tao, pag yung stress, alam nyo, babaksak sila. Bumabaksak sila. Paatras sila. Bigat na bigat. Pero meron naman iba, ang ginagawa nila, status quo. Nakaset lang yan. Hindi gagalaw. Kasi they don't wanna rock the boat. So, dinay-deny nila o hindi nila ginagawa ng paraan. Meron ng mga tao, stress ka lang. Ibig sabihin, kaya nilang mag-thrive. So there are just some who grow. So yun yung fight, flight, flee. May mga tao, what's the definition of stress? Or what's the direction of stress? I mean, some people fight the stress. Nilalabanan, hinaharap. When I say fight, I don't want saying fight. Ayoko kasing labanan ng mga bagay. So, mas magandang harapin. So, mas maganda natin face. Some people face the stress. They take it by the horns. They deal with it head on. Hinaharap, aalamin anong pwedeng magawa. May mga tao, so there's the face. The other people, what they do, they just freeze, naninigas, status quo, hindi makagalaw, hindi alam kung anong uunahin, analysis by paralysis, paralysis by analysis, hindi nila alam anong direksyon. They're looking for directions but they don't know how to look for solutions. Alam nila yung direction dapat, pero parang hindi sila makapagsimula. They freeze, frozen. The third one, They flee. Ibig sabihin, tumatakas, hindi hinaharap. They deny that stress is happening or a problem is already brewing. So where are you here? What's your direction in stress, in dealing with stress in your family? Are you the type who face it? Are you the type who freeze? Or are you the type who flee? So where are you in the stress in your family life? So that's awareness, and then that's beliefs. That's your understand the context, check your direction, and then the other one it's what I call external manifestation. What do I mean by external manifestations of stress? When we say external manifestation, panlabas na nakikita. Ayan, yun yung maganda nating maintindihan, friends. For example, minsan may mga tao, ang sabi natin, ang ganda mong magdala, hindi halatang may problema. Bakit? Maybe because that person has enough inner resources to navigate stress. Sana ganun akong tao. Sana, alam nyo, marami rin naman ako pinagdadaan ng stress. Marami rin ako pinagdadaanan na difficulties. Pero as much as possible, I try to navigate. I try to deal with them. So, that external manifestation, this is what the best example I can give you. For example, parents with the kids or young kids. Minsan, yung halimbawa addiction problems. Addiction problem ng anak, may gaming addiction o kaya may depression. Itong mga bagay na to, o kaya meron anak na nagkaroon ng naglayas kasi teenager, naglayas kasi may ka-boyfriend, sumama sa boyfriend, ganyan. Are these the problems or are these the problems in itself, or this starts with an ordinary stressor? So these external manifestations of stress, minsan, yung sakit may be mental health issue, sakit even cancer, sakit even marital discord. Are they the stress itself? Honestly, no. These problems are not the real problems. They are what I call, we refer to in psychology, in family psychology, as the external manifestation of the problem. Ano pong ibig sabihin? Ang lalim. Are you getting me, friends? Can you say with me, external manifestation? Panlabas na nakikita ng problema. So minsan, ang nakikita lang ng pamilya na ay nangaliwa yung tatay. So, bakit siya nangaliwa? May problema ba? Ay, yung mommy na yon, single parent yon. Pero bakit kaya? Baka hindi natin nakikita na hindi natin alam yung full story, na philanderer yung partner, may addiction o may verbal abuse kasi maganda yung pinapakita sa iba. Pero ang nakita lang natin yung mas malaking problema, yung what I call external manifestation. So baka ang nakita lang natin yung maliit na problema. Ang nakita lang natin yung panlabas. So for example then, pag nagka-depression yung anak, so ang nakikita lang ba natin is the depression of the child. Depression, there's a signal of stress in the child. And if there's a stress in the child, sometimes it's not dealt with in the family. It's not dealt with, hindi hinarap. It's not faced. The direction of the family is maybe they deny it or they flee from it. So, lalong nagkaroon ng bigger problem. Are you still with me? So, you have to check all this. When you are dealing with stress, sabi natin, yung malalaking stress, huwag na tayong lumayo, while work from home situation, you have to be aware, is this causing stress? Is this stress in itself? Is it normal stress or talagang abnormal yung stress mo? You have to check that. Second, what are your beliefs regarding this? Do you see this as an opportunity or do you see this as a burden? See, context. Check your context. Paano ko dinideal with tong stress na to? Okay pa ba ako dito? Ano yung pagkakaintindi? Normal ba nang nangyayari sa akin to? Natural lang na mangyari talaga na mahirapan ako kasi I have small kids. It's my context. So if the context would be given or inevitable, parang mga manok sa kapitbahay namin. Yes, it's stressing me. Uh, I really don't know what to do about it. It's so beyond me, despite dialogue. But then, I know that you will be more understanding. So, yung konteksto ko ngayon, naiintindihan ba? Acceptable ba? Yes. So, that's another one. Context. What's the context? Intindihin yung konteksto. Baka naman kaya hindi ka makapagtrabaho ng gusto because you're taking on too much or you're dealing with some family issues na hindi mo hinaharap. Dahil nandyan yung stressor mo, denying that someone in your family is becoming a stressor, and that's something in itself. Another one, and then what's the direction? Do you face the stress? Do you flee from the stress? Do you freeze from the family stress? So tingnan natin nasaan tayo dyan, friends. And E, external manifestation. Ano yung panlabas na nakikita regarding the stress? Ano yung panlabas na nagiging manifestation? Nagkakaroon na ba ng mas malaking problema? Why do you need to deal with it? On our next episode, next week, I'll tell you how we can help each other navigate this stress. So, what are the common aspects of family stress? According to many studies, according to theories in the name of David Olson, one of my favorite family theories, he said that families experience stress. Given yan, families talagang, friends, I'm so overwhelmed. O meron naman talaga si Ma'am Cynthia, Maria Cynthia, kayo naman ang talagang nag-ABC at nag-take down notes. I really appreciate sa kasi sis Fatima. So now, what are the common aspects of stress? I'll give you 4 areas. One is that families experience stress. Lahat tayo nakakaranas niyan. Iba-iba lang ng packaging. May magandang magdala, mayroon na nakakilay pa, may nakangiti, pero meron naman mukhang lugi at mukhang biktima. Nasaan ka dyan, kaibigan? Where are you there, friends, in how we deal with stress? The next one, all stressors either begin or end in the family. Tandaan natin, all stressors either it begin or it ended in the family. Diba? That's the unfair one. Minsan, kaya nagkaroon ng stress, lumala, kasi hindi dinelt with nung tatay, hindi inayos nung nanay, hindi nag-usap ng maayos. So, it began in the family. And then the next one is that, it ended in the family. Merong nagka-problema sa labas. There's a lot of stressors outside, pero pag uwi, dala mo lahat ng problema. Ngayon, ramdam natin yan during the quarantine because many went home. So, yung mga problems na tulog, nasa ilalim ng kama, nasa loob ng cabinet, at mga dormant concerns and issues in the family, maraming na bulabog. Okay? Because all stressors either begin or end in the family. Kaya, we need to deal with our family stress because lugi naman yung family. Kawawa naman yung pamilya natin. Nagpapakahirap tayong ayusin, pero kung siya lang yung mabubugbog at hindi maayos, as I said, okay lang naman mag-stress. Family stress is normal, but if we dump everything in our family, and then it's not gonna be fair for all. The third one, couples must find the resource, or couples or families need to find resources to help them cope. Ano tong resources na to? Alam nyo, friends, ang unang-una nating kailangan, for example, financial problems. Hindi natin solusyon agad na mangutang. Hanapin muna natin yung internal resources natin because when we deal with stress and when we look for resources, we have to do it internally and externally. Diba nga, maraming kaya ang common problem ng Filipino family, when they have a family problem, they work on it internally, hindi nila nilalabas agad. Minsan kailangan na, pero hindi pa rin dinidelt with sa labas. So that's why you need to understand that you have to look for the internal resources to help you cope. For example, finances. Wag mo nang manghiram sa labas. Tingnan mo na, baka naman ito. Meron tayong mahugot dito. Pwede tayong magtipid dito. Or, hindi naman natin kailangan muna yung na ganyan kalaki yung gastos sa ganyang bagay, so hindi na natin gagastusan yan. So, meron tayong perang mababakate for that. So, it's refunneling the internal resources. And it starts with that. Another one, couples might find resources. So, among yourselves, you talk about it among yourselves. Kaya, naniniwala ako na pag sa family, we don't also put everything out in social media, because when you put all your internal issues out in social media, it becomes an external an external source of stress. Mas lalong nadadagdagan, because the resources is supposed to be inside. Pag-usapan muna among your family members, you find ways how to deal with it so that you can all manage it together. Hindi yung ikikwento dito, i-rant sa Twitter, and all. So, kaya, ang nangyayari, if the family does not have an effective communication with each other, if the family has poor conflict resolution skills, if the family is poor also in creating family decisions and direction, chances are family members look for solutions outside, external solutions to help them cope, because inside there's no resources. If there are resources, hindi naman helpful yung resources. Are you understanding me, friends? So, couples or family members, ideally, we find ways sa loob pa lang. We deserve we deserve better. We deserve to work on the family first before we move outside. Or we deserve to use whatever we have first in the family bago tayo humingi ng saklolo, or bago tayo maghanap ng solusyon sa labas. And lastly, friends, all couples or families have internal strengths in managing stress. And that's the blessing. Minsan hanap ng mga other ways to make us strong. Other ways, mga good vibes. Sometimes the wisdom is inside you already. Hinanda na tayo ng buhay dyan. Sometimes, we feel that we are at loss for words with the things that's happening, but sometimes that kind of silence, it's really needed. One time, I'm ranting so much. I have so much in my plate. Now I forgot what is it that I am concerned about, and then I seek the help of a friend. Sabi ko, "Ah, my dear, ay nako, talagang this is really causing me so much stress. It's becoming a burden in my heart already." Natawa ako sa sinabi niya. Friend, nandun yan sa libro mo. Kaya ko yan natutunan gawin sa asawa ko kasi natutunan ko yan sa'yo. So, ibabalik ko lang yan sa'yo. Yan yung, di ba sinabi mo sa book mo, yung family goals? Oh, that's my award-winning book. Ang sabi mo, ito. Oo nga, no, sinabi ko pala yan. So, the resource is already in me. Kasi, kaya ako naisulat yun kasi na-apply ko na yun before. But sometimes, we get too confounded by stress. Ang dami nating iniisip. Para tayong si Martha, ang dami nating gustong gawin. Minsan, we look too much outside, but we fail to do it inside. One time naman, I'm having internal struggle also. And then I seek the help of a counselor friend, of a psychologist friend. And then I told her, uh, Doc, he's my good friend. Sabi ko, Doc Ron, it's like this. I need to tell you this. Ganyan. Sabi niya, ay nako, Itzel Alignay. Sabi niya ganon. Sinabi mo yan, alam mo, tuwang-tuwa ako dyan sa portion ng book mo, yung Beauty of 40 mo. Sinabi mo yan towards the second to the last chapter. Kasi breakthrough sa akin yan nung sinabi mo. And then I'm so happy that you said that. Now, ikaw ang nagsasabi sa akin yan. Sabi niya, ihampas ko kaya sa'yo yung libro mo. Sabi ko, my friends are well-meaning, no? They say that. But come to think of it, friends, sometimes we look for things, even me, outside of us. But the strength that we need is already planted in our hearts. Naniniwala ako that this pandemic, it is a blessing and it has a purpose. It's not a burden. It's not a pain. It's not a disaster. For me, it's more than a burden. It's a blessing. More than a pain, it has a purpose. This pandemic, it has a direction, a helpful direction, more than being a distraction. It may have distracted our lives, but if we look at the strengths that we have and we have right now, yung mga natutunan mong bago, yung mga na-realize mo sa sarili mo, ay meron pala ako, kaya ko pala, baka we will wonder, wow, if not for the pandemic, I would not have realized that I am strong like this. Are you getting me, friends? Can you just tell me one thing that you are stressing about at the start of a pandemic, and then now you realize, it can be my strength. It can be my strength. Stress can be converted to our strength. Stress can be converted also to sentiments. Then to significance. Gusto kong gawin yung significance. Because as Brother Bo Sanchez said, lagi ko ito pinapaniwalaan. Success is not about, it's about you, but significance is about yourself and helping others achieve their success. This stress that we are experiencing now in our family life, we need to convert it to our personal strength, and we need to help ourselves also convert it into a life of significance. Na kaya nangyari to kasi may tinuturo si Lord. Pero friends, hindi ko sasabihin sa inyo kung ano yung tinuturo ni Lord. It's for us to discover. It's for us to unlock. It's for us to unwrap. Ganun yung buhay. Naniniwala ako na ang buhay ay hindi one size fits all. Lagi ko yan sinasabi sa inyo. And you see, I'm not giving you steps 1, 2, 3, but I'm giving you areas to reflect upon so that you can realize what is this family stress that is what is it about this family stress that is teaching you, because there is something. You might not see it now. Pare-pareho tayo, nandito pa rin tayo sa gitna ng lahat. Hindi natin nakikita ngayon. Pero, posibleng makita natin yung purpose at yung significance. Ng pain to purpose, thank you Teacher Miles, ng stress to strength, we can see that, not now, but later. And then one day, we'll say, oh God, thank you for helping me carry on. Every day is grace, and we should ask God for grace. His grace is more than enough each day. Kahit na stress na, at hirap na hirap pa din tayo. Carry on. One day at a time. Personal tips, I've had my share. One day at a time. Wag sabay-sabay, mauubos tayo. And we just simply, that's the last S that I will tell you. So, how do we deal with this stress? Stress, look for your strength, step by step. Oh, baby. Step by step. Huwag sabay-sabay. Convert it into stress, convert the strength, step by step, and live a life of significance. Someday, it will make sense. So last one, significance. The last one, sense. We have to be sensible. And we have to totally surrender. Kaya tayo nasa-stress, alam nyo, hindi natin sinusurrender kay Lord lahat. Minsan gusto natin gawin lahat. Gusto natin dalhin lahat. At kung ang bagay ay hindi na natin kayang gawin ng paraan, there's only one way, only one route. Surrender. Did I repeat that? Stress, step by step, convert it into your strength, live a life of significance, and lastly, surrender. Thank you for joining me for another session of Coffee Break. Join me again, friends, on Thursday for the part 2 of this on how we can continue to make our family stress into occasions of strength. But friends, I would also inform you, I will be keeping the afternoon schedule at 1:30 p.m. because in the coming weeks, I will be back to teaching in the college and in the graduate school. And so I'm just fixing my schedule, but I promise you, we will have coffee break. There's more to discuss, there's more to talk about. And I pray that each of us, kahit nasa stress, will learn to live a life of significance. We'll learn how to do it step by step. We convert it into our strength. And we s- surrender. Thank you for joining me again. Thank you, and please share this to family and friends. Follow me also at my YouTube, Coffee Break with Dr. Michelle, and at Spotify so that you can be blessed. Either you have this Facebook Live platform or wala, and do share this to the people who needs this. God bless you all. See you again.